are you doing? Hear me a bit better. How are you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. Now, artisans, how funny are you? We put absolute oodles of stock on yesterday for the stamps that I shared, and obviously I did explain that I couldn't do the live yesterday, so that's why I'm doing them today. Literally, there was not even a handful left this morning. I think some maybe a couple have bounced back. So last night I spoke to Tony and we decided, hi Roxy, how's my sound girl? Oh, you're so good, thank you darling. So I spoke to her last night and we decided, for those that had missed out, hi Sarah, you're right, that we would add an extra 2 today. And guess what? They're nearly all sold out again. I cannot believe it, honestly. But I would do exactly the same if I was you. I would get ahead. So for everyone who missed out yesterday, there are an additional 2 available today. So just pop along to Stamps by Me website, have a little look over there. And of course, we've got the whole umbrella of Imala there, which is brilliant. We've got the Himi arts, we've got absolute oodles of inspiration as well. So, hi Sheena, you're right, my darling. I hope you're having a lovely day. So I'm going to still use the 2 stamps that were available yesterday, and I'm going to use the 2 stamps that, if any are available, I will be using them too. How is everyone today? Is everyone good? Hi Jill, you all right? So what I'm going to do first of all, and also I've got something new to try as well. You know when you get a delivery and you just can't wait to try it? Well, I'm going to add it in today, so we'll see. So I've gone on an 8x8 card very quickly. I'll turn you around, you can see exactly what I'm up to. Here we go. I've got my Eureka ready to go. Are you going to stay there? Yep. And I've taken 3 pieces of card. This is watercolour card. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to layer it slightly. And you can really, do whatever you fancy, really. That's what I like about this. And I'm actually going to stamp directly onto my card as well. So first things first, I'm going to be using that adorable weathered wood. If you've never tried a textured background stamp, simply stunning. It just fills those gaps, it creates texture, but also what about stamping this into air drying clay to actually create that texture? Beautiful. You can emboss with it, so much you can do. So I'm just going to use this one first of all, the beautiful weathered wood, and I know it's been a firm favourite with many of you, and I'm just going to pop it to the left hand side. Let me pop my light on, that might help. Sometimes I just forget that I have a halo light and it can be used. There we go. Is that better? That must be. So I'm going to stamp this weathered wood straight on. I love it as well because it doesn't matter what size card it is, whether you're going big or whether you're going tiny, whether you just want to add that little accent. Perfect for that. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to go on, and you know me, I'm going to go straight on with some wilted violet. So this is quite a strong purple, and it's a distress as well. So because it's the distressing, obviously it's water soluble. I can mix it up, have it sort of set to the back, do many different things with it. So I'm just going to pop that on nice and simple, and then I'm very simply just going to use bit of fingertip pressure just to add that beautiful layer of weathered wood. You can see that there. So while we're still in this position, I'm just going to move this over, take my weathered wood off. I was hoping to clean it before I put it back. Here we go. Gotta love a microfiber cloth. They're so cool, aren't they? And what it is, I've washed all my Stamps by Me ones, you see, so they're all on the line. So now I'm going to take that beautiful Lilly. Now this just seems so long ago we brought this to you. I'm going to slightly over exaggerate it. So what I love about this Lilly as well is it can go any way. So you can have it up, you can have it down, cascading, simply beautiful. And I'm going to have my one cascading, so I'm just going to pull it slightly over the weatherwood so everything will combine together, making sure obviously that I've got my magnet in the exact right place. So now I'm just going to pick this one up And I think I'm going to use some black ink on this just to really crisp it. And again, you can put whatever colour. I mean, this looks beautiful decoupaged, absolutely stunning, really lovely. I think it's so versatile, whether it's Mother's Day, I mean, because it's the lilies as well, you could very easily send it as a sympathy card. It's just super adaptable and it's just so darn pretty, isn't it? I love it. So I'm just going to pull this down, give it a good old, now I'm going to stand up and give it a little push down. The reason why is because I'm stamping over 4 layers of card now. So I want to make sure I get as crisp as image as I can. Perfect. It doesn't matter because you see these bits, you can go back in and add more ink if you want, but I'm actually going to matte these layers so it doesn't really matter. I like the way I go quiet, like it's a secret. It's not a secret. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this off. We're going to do a little bit of paintwork down here, but first of all, I'm just going to take this away, move my Eureka. Now, you know I said I've got some new things to play with. Here they are. Dye ink sprays. I'm kind of excited. I've not even tried these yet. I should spray it first, shouldn't I, somewhere? Before, just to make sure it does spray. Let me find an empty box. There we go. Oh, yeah, look at that colour. Oh, yeah. So I'm just lightly dusting over with a little bit of that purple. How lush is that? I better wipe this, otherwise I'm going to end up purple-tastic. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab one of my daubers. I'm probably going to hold down my project as well with a paintbrush. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly dust over that spray. And where it's not 100% dry yet, I'll just be able to move it about a little. Lovely. So I'm going to grab some water anyway, because I use that purple Distress. Oh yeah, look at this, this is pretty. And of course it'll pick up on the spray ink that I've added as well. There we go, just dry that off. Oh, don't run off. Now you can get as fussy or as clean crafting with these beautiful Imala stamps, and that's what I love about them so much. They are so super versatile. Remember, whatever you create you can sell. They're just iconic, I think. They're the kind of stamps that if you've got, I don't know, a little stall or your friends, they'll be like, oh, they're really cool, really different, which is very exciting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start tilting now with my heat gun. The reason I'm tilting is because I want to push some of that water into the paint rather than allowing it just to sit. So I'm going to carry on with this bit down here. Letting it run. Oh, look at all that colour. I am loving this. Right, I'm going to take some of these layers off now and dry them individually. And then we can get painting. Let's just move that over. Now see how the weathered wood mixed in with the spray ink, a little bit of water. See that beautiful effect you can get. Absolutely stunning. Now, you see I did that? What that does is it brings all the water down to one edge. So again, it just gives you a little bit of graduation colour. Can you see that? So it's almost pinky, where it's sort of separated the colours down. I hope it's lovely and sunny where you are today. Really beautiful here, but it's so chilly. Super chilly today. So you think, you know, you don't need all your woolly jumpers anymore because spring is here. And of course, we do need our jumpers back on. So let's return back to this. How's everyone doing? Are you all right? I can't see your comments. I'll have a little look in a second. So now I'm just going to add some matte layers onto some beautiful gunmetal silver. And just a nice small matte. It doesn't have to be excessive. The smaller the matte actually the better, because then what that does is it doesn't hide too much of the stamp detail. So onto that next layer. Lovely. Just come back to this. There we go. And I will just basically place everything back together. Perfect. Oh, my light's gone off. Then this one will go up here. Then this one will finish down here. But you could even leave that, couldn't you, and just pop your sentiment in there. That would work really well. So I'm just going to place this, and now we can do a little bit of painting. I'm going to be using my Himmies. And I will just pick up a little bit of purple, and I'm just going to accentuate that colour. Really simple. So I'm just going to go over the design, just filling in with that beautiful purple. Nice and easy. I'll just go in a bit drier. Go back into the water. Come down here. We're just going to pull it away from the centre to the edges. So it's just pulling that colour away. And the thing is, I think when you spend a lot of time, especially if you are painting like I often do, when you create these kind of cards, people don't throw them away. They tend to frame them, which, you know, just makes you feel so super happy. So now I'm just going to make up a little bit of blue with that purple that we've used. So it's just a bit richer, a little bit of water. And I'm just almost shadowing the vines. It doesn't have to be perfect, you've just got to have that little bit of shadowing coming over all of that beautiful design, and it almost gives it like a shadow. Oh, I nearly missed one there, didn't I? The pod Hasn't quite opened. There we go. So now I just want to add a sentiment. Let's have a look what I've got here. Life is full of beauty. Yes, it is. It's a very small sentiment, but I think that's all it needs. So there we go, my friends. Quick technique to show you. Hiya! How are we doing? Oh, let me check your messages, what you've been saying to me. Oh, looks beautiful. Hi, Sue. Hi, Jackie. Oh, that's good. Oh, thank you. You're so too kind, honestly. Really effective. Yep, you need to try this one. Super simple. But using that weathered wood spray, I've used... Now, I'm going to be a bit naughty and tell you. I'm using the Adeline because they're new and they're really cute and they're lovely and they smell nice. And look at the effect that you get with it. Stunning, isn't it? And just a little bit of loose paintwork over that. Use the grey because it's so muted. If you use black, it'll be quite harsh. So just use that sort of darker grey colour. And did you print off the sentiments? No, sweetheart. They're Tim Holtz stickers. They're good. Have a look on the website. Okay, so there we go, my friends. That's that one today. Shall we have a look at something else? Yeah, let's make something else. Now, I have been just making loads of background papers and stuff lately. So this was one that I was working on. Now, you may be thinking, oh, Carly, that looks crazy. But you know what it is? It's when I've got loads and loads of ink on my glass mat, I just want to pick it up so I can clean it, but I don't want to waste that ink. So I want to show you how you can create something from this, okay? It's so simple. It really, really is. So that's going to be my first thing, and then we will move on to using... Although I don't know, I might add one of the stamps in with this one actually. Let's have a look. I've just got oodles of things next to me here. Let me just move these out the way. You can go over there. And of course we have the two stamps that are on offer today, which is Strike a Pose. Strike a Pose. Very much like my Lottie. Very, very much. And then of course that exquisite panel. Now this is beautiful. One for DL cards, as Caroline said that she bought it this morning. Just beautiful. You can really snip it down, really chop into it. If you're not a fan of colouring, the loose paintwork works really, really well. Getting all four stamps got a reef. Out of stock! Oh, sorry, Trace. Sorry about that. Oh, this is what happens to us, isn't it, friends? We all get so excited. Oh, I know. Do you know what? Sometimes, some weeks, it's such a good deal for a £5. I just think, I'll just buy another one. Even though some of them I've got prototypes and the actual product that I get extras too. So it's probably me buying them as well, isn't it? Oh no! Right, okay, let me turn you around and I'm going to show you how to make this mucky mat into a beautiful background piece of paper. Should we use the sprays again? I think we should, you know. So this is a mixture of distress ink. I've also got a little bit of alcohol ink on there, a little bit of twinkle spray as well. So let's grab some ink. I'm going to go in, oh, here she is, my wilted violet. Just going to pick a little bit of that up. Now very, very lightly. Just go around one side. This is how you can make it into 2 pieces of background paper ready to go. So I'm going to stick to the half. So you can see half will be one style and half will be another. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in, but I'm going to use my bundled sage, which is not a very, it's quite a muted green, but it's just, oh, it's lovely. It's really, really nice. So I'm just going to add little patches, little tiny patches just throughout that. I'm coming back to that lilac and I'm just going to finish off this edge. Now don't worry if you get darker spots as well, because we're going to use water, so it will change. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a stencil Let's have a look. I've got absolute oodles of stencils next to me too. Oh, let's go for my favourite. That beautiful doily. Oh, I do love it. It's lush. It's available and it is on the Stamps by Me website. This is called the doily. I just love the edge you get on this. The blenders that I'm using as well are the Stamps by Me. Brilliant blenders. You'll love them. So I'm going straight into the Spun Sugar Oxide now, and I'm going over the top. So we've used all that purple, but now, and you can see that I'm not going over the whole template, just small areas. And you can see how that's starting to build. So now, shall I try a different colour? Oh, what have I got here? This looks quite teal. You know me, I do love a teal. Oh yes, that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do with this now, wet fan brush, straight over the top. So that's over all of the inks, all of the layers, all of the gorgeous stenciling we did. Now if you rotate, it pushes the colour and lifts the colour away from the paper, so you get them sort of rain splats. If you've got heavier pulls and you don't want them to spread, if you want them to spread, push them around. I love creating background papers. It's just like one of my favourite things to do. You can just get so immersed in it, and there's no rules. That's what I love. No rules at all. So I'm going to leave that to dry, and I'm going to come over to the other side now, and I'm going to use a totally different colour blend with this. So let me see, I think I'll grab a little bit of Lucky Clover. So this is quite green. I'm going to pick this up, and we're going to go in quite random spaces. Do it quite heavy. Lovely. And I'm going to come and use a bit of Salty Ocean. It's a beautiful colour. And I'm just going to blend over that green, over the purple that's on there. Nice little circles. It's almost dotty, but it's not. It's dotty with colour, if you like. I'm going to come back to my purple, pick up a little bit of that, and we are just going to lightly just take a little bit of purple through. Lovely. Then to finish, I'm going to take my wet fan brush, but instead of flicking like I usually do, I'm just going to paint lines across. Dry that off, and what you can do is you can tilt now. Now if you have got twinkle sprays, things like that, now is a good time to put that sort of thing on. I'm going to have a little, just a tad of that lilac. And then I'm going to tilt as I dry. So keep moving it around. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this in half so you can see the really big difference, and then I'm going to stamp on them as well. So I've got this half, which was the one that we just done, and then of course all them different sort of techniques that I showed you on that one as well. Right, let's grab my Eureka, push my colours back. Let's do some stamping. So again, I've got my Eureka. The first one I'm going to be using is the Striker Pose. Sorry if you desperately wanted this and it sold out. I'm sorry. It is a beautiful stamp, I must admit, and you can see mine's covered in paint. There we go. So I'm just going to take my background that we created, and I'm just going to bring her in. I'm also going to add a sentiment. Now this sentiment is one of the stamps by me. Illuminations. No, is it? Oh, I don't know. Lamination. Oh, I don't know. It's gone out my mind. Right. Black ink. Yep. So all-purpose ink, because I am going to be painting this as well after. So it is Laminations. I'm sure it is. It's from the last collection, not the new one. So it's Let Your Dreams Blossom. I think it covered the paintbrush, didn't it? Yes, it did. And of course using that Striker Pose. If it's not strong enough, just go back, add more colour, layer that black ink up. Sentiment I'm happy with, so I don't want that on anymore. There we go. Much better. Now what I'm going to do now is some painting, but I'm going to be using gouache paint because I've got a lot of colour under there. So if I tried now to layer with my usual skin tones, I would really struggle. So I'm just adding a bit of water to activate this, and of course with gouache you can massively layer, and it is semi-opaque, which is a lot better. So as you can see, even though it's semi-opaque, I'm still getting a little bit of that skin tone effect, even though we've got all of that colour on there already. So let's just pull that round. Just want to get some colour on first, and then we can start building. But of course, because there is a lot of ink in there, you will pick up colour as well as you go. Now I'm just coming around the eyes, a little bit around the eyes, and I'm just going to pick up a tiny bit of ochre into my skin tone. And I will just simply add in that frame, if you like. And then I'm just going to pull it round with a little bit of water, not too much. She's almost turned into the green lady, isn't she? I don't actually mind. Okay, let's come over to her hair now. So I'm going back into my watercolour Himmies, and she's going to have some foxy pink hair. So straight in, pick up that luscious colour. Just have fun. It's so beautiful. The stamps that we put together are just incredible. They're so unique. Every single one of them is just, got a story to tell. Absolutely beautiful. So then here we go. Oh, nice pink hair, missus. I'm going to go back into a tiny bit of the very much lighter pink, and I'm just going to fill in some of these areas around. There we go, tiny bit of that pink again. I'm just going to give her a little bit of blush, not too much. Bit of water, blend that away, but it just gives her a little bit of that softness. Now we're going to come into the eyes. I'm going to go into the green, go right in. Now lots of people ask me, how do you do your eyes? They look so realistic. It's really quite simple, to be honest. You just need to get yourself a black or a grey liner pen and a white gel pen. So now I've put that green on, I'm going to go straight back in and just do a little dab for the white of the eyes. I've got a fine liner pen here, and I'm just following the line of the eyes. You can see that there. So then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to start adding some eyelashes. This is how you can really accentuate your girls as well. Exactly the same on the other side. So just really pull them eyelashes down. Lovely. I'm also just going to do a little bit of shade work over her nose. There we go, that's better. And then coming onto the lips. Now I quite like that colour that's there, but I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of cerise pink. Make sure it's not too wet. We'll just pull that round. She looks very futuristic, don't you think? So there we go, my friends. There's a quick one. We'll have a little chat about that one in a second. But right now, let's move over to the other background that I created. Let's move striker pose. Here we go. Absolutely, I think I like it that way. Yeah, I'm happy with it that way. And I'm going to take that beautiful floral panel and I'm just going to pop it just down one side like so. It can go either way, whatever you prefer. I'm just going to pick that up. I'm going to use my black ink again. Cover the stamp completely. Give it a good old push down. Needs a little bit more. Lovely. Come back out. We can do some painting. So I'm just going to grab some of this beautiful sort of cerise pink, mix it in with the purple. I'll take a bit of darker purple as well. Oh yeah, that's it. Nice, nice. And then we're just going to add that little highlights of colour. So you're not colouring everything. Now my brush is quite dry as well, so you're going to get as much pigment on there as possible without it being diluted. So now I'm just going to come down here, do this one, little bits of colour now because we've got that great background already. It really doesn't need much. I mean, you could emboss on this, die cut it. I'm just sort of giving it the illusion of colour. And even though it's watercolour that I'm adding, it's still got enough pigment in to obviously show absolutely beautiful. and it almost looks quite transparent with all the different layers. So I'm going to go into my water now, and we're just going to push them colours all together. So we'll pick up obviously on the backgrounds that we've got in there as well. So them inks, the blues, the greens, and the additional purple paint that I've just placed on top. You're just sort of blending that away. So now I'm going to come in with a green. And we're just going to follow all of these little vines that are there. There's even, like, you know, like little bud cups. Got some of those in there too. I mean, this works absolutely fabulous for Oriental, but then also it's just so pretty as it is. It's an incredible stamp. Can't believe how many chapters ago. Where time goes. Time flies when you're having fun, eh? So I'm just going to finish off, just popping a tiny bit more colours here and there, just to finish it off. And then I'm going to come in with my white gel pen. And I'm just going to add some light detail. So you're just rotating circles in centre, and then you're just like eyelashes away from the centre. And you don't want it too thick and blobby, so if it is a blobby white gel pen you've got, try and get a rollerball one. Because then you get much better control over them. Personally, I love Sakura, but you know, whatever your budget can afford. So I'm coming to them buds now, and I'm going from the top to the bottom. In a little bit of mist with the green, just pick that up. There we go, that's a lot better. So I would either add a sentiment to this. I mean, I could stamp one, I could add a die cut sentiment, so many different things you could do. If you wanted to make it go that much further, you could add, if you wanted to do more layers, you could add a stencil on top. I will stamp this one quickly. This is from Stamps by Me. So I'm just going to pop that down. And it says, friends make good times better and hard times easier. Yes, they do. So I'm just going to pick that up, add my ink. Perfect. Now what you could do as well, after you've done this, if you wanted to even more, do more layers, what have I done with that? There it is what you're going to do is take, again, the panel, the floral panel. Let's just check this. I'm going to go that way, I think. And I'm just going to do it very lightly in the violet. So not perfect, just a little. Don't want to push down too hard, just want that almost as decoration as a background. Let's take that off. There we go. Let's grab my purple blending brush to finish, and that'll help set that purple back as well. So there we go. Right, I friends, how are we doing? Mind you, underwater scene. Yeah, you could do, couldn't you? So, of course, we've done striker pose today. Very arty, super different, but I really wanted to show you how to create in backgrounds and then what you can do from that. So, you know, it could be Halloween. She doesn't have to be this beautiful striker pose. There's so many things that you could do this. So yeah, scraps of paper, look what we can create. Then again, the second background that I created with all of that extra inking and painting. Honestly, it's so simple, isn't it? And with Imala, that's the beauty of it. It just makes it so easy. They're so achievable. Even if you've never painted before, grab yourself some Imala stamps, get yourself some watercolour, whether it's pencils, paints. I mean, you can even paint with you can even colour in with Sharpies. Whatever you got, follow my tutorials, and hopefully you will be just like me, creating projects every single day. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. I'm all forgotten with my days because obviously I'm usually Imala Wednesday. I will be back next Wednesday. If you haven't already, pop along to the Stamped By Me website. Have a little look at the incredible Imala range. And of course, if there's any left, there will still be, hopefully, some of the £5 stamps. Take care, look after yourself and each other, and I will see you soon. See you later. Bye.